The twin flame journey is one of the biggest roller coasters you will ever ride. You will be hit with obstacles, triggers, barriers, lots of different things to prevent you from coming into union, from preventing you from trusting in this connection. But the universe will also bring in obstacles in the forms of tests or temptations to try and lure you off your path, to try and bring you back down to that 3D reality. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. Your twin flame is the other half of your soul, your divine counterpart. So it is not like any other connection that you'll ever experience. This is why there's a lot of obstacles or barriers in the way to union, in the way to fulfillment. And that's the test of this twin flame journey. The test to see if you've learned your lessons, the test to see if you're ready. Are you able to overcome these obstacles? Are you able to overcome these differences? And a lot of the time at the start, it's to do with the obstacles and differences are to do with the challenges, the age differences, the cultural differences, the difference in dynamics, maybe growing up in different family dynamics. Just different things that we need to overcome in order to come into union. Then there's the triggers that we get because we're faced with our mirror. This can lead us to question this connection. We're like, if it's this hard, is it really if it's this hard, is it really worth it? If it's this hard, should I bother even trying? Should I not go back to an easy relationship? And that's what we question and that's where our faith is tested along this journey. During the twin flame journey, it's more about believing before we get to see anything. We have to trust from the inside for it to come into fruition. And as we learn and grow, and that's the beauty of the twin flame journey or a spiritual journey of any kind, you're evolving into the best version of yourself. So you're learning and growing past these obstacles. So you're overcoming any cycles that you used to be in. But the journey to union is very, very hard. The journey to inner union is very hard. So this is why the universe can come in with tests and temptations to try and lure you off your path. This can come in the form of advice. For my own experience, you cannot ask a regular 3D person from your old life about this 5D connection. If you ask somebody about this otherworldly connection who's still stuck in that matrix box, they're going to give you the wrong advice. They're going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to tell you this isn't real. This kind of stuff doesn't happen. They're going to tell you that this person is not your person. And a lot of the time on the outside, your twin doesn't look like your match, and to other people, you're a mismatch. But on a core level, you are the perfect match. And that's the thing. We base our type or our match on our past. We base our type on who we've dated before. But yeah, as we evolve and grow, we're shedding this conditioning and this old self, this false self. So the person that we were into back in the day is not the person we're into now because we're not the same person we were. So your twin flame actually matches your true self and the version you're evolving into and not your old self. So the people that are from your old environment are going to tell you, this person's not for you. They're nothing like your past, which is a fucking good thing. Your past was toxic. You know what I mean? And they're going to try and turn you off your path. And I remember years ago, my best friend, I used to go to her for all the advice, every bit of advice. She helped me through a very hard part of my life. And, I trusted her with everything. And she was very unspiritual. So as I started to awaken, we're no longer friends now, but as I started to awaken, she was kind of a little bit skeptic about all this woo-woo stuff. But when I asked her for advice about this twin flame journey, she deterred me off it. She even set up an intervention with her friends and family to talk me out of this twin flame journey. And I had to question fuck, what do I do here? My best friend who gave me all the advice I've ever needed and has always been right about that advice is now giving me advice that I don't feel is right. Do I still trust her or do I follow what's in my heart and soul? And it took me a while to kind of go, okay, shit, she's wrong. she was never wrong. And for me to actually believe she was wrong was crazy for me. And I questioned my own sanity on this twin flame journey. And that's another test. It's a test of your sanity, a test of your willpower, a test of your belief, a test of your faith. To, you're in this bubble of like, do I listen to this old advice or do I listen to my heart? And you're like, people are calling me crazy. And like, especially when you're coming out of that matrix and you're not a spiritual person or you haven't been a spiritual person. This stuff is woo-woo. It's crazy to your old self. So you do doubt yourself and you do question it. And then if you're getting advice from multiple people in the 3D and they're all giving you this advice saying, that's not your person, this shit is crazy, there's no such thing, this stuff is false, this is wrong, you're kind of going to be back and forth. You're kind of going to question, are the people that I've trusted my whole life right? Or am I actually outgrowing their advice and are they not able to give me the advice that I need at this time? This is what we need to trust. We need to trust in the power of the 5D connection and trust in the power of what we feel in our heart and soul rather than trust in somebody that doesn't know anything about this journey. So this is why we have to be so careful about who we even tell about our twin flame journey. Because a lot of the time, because of the turbulence of the twin flame journey, that roller coaster ride, that back and forth energy, if you look at it from a 3D perspective, it doesn't look great, but deep down, that you and your twin are going through spiritual healing. So you understand the reason for this imbalance, we'll call it, right? So anytime you ask a friend or ask somebody who doesn't understand what's going on, they're going to just tell you that person's not good for you or that person isn't right for you. So you have to learn to understand, learn to trust what is real and what is false. Learn to trust who you can speak to about this journey and learn to understand who you can't. And a lot of the time, there is going to be no one in your environment that is going to understand this journey. And you're better off keeping it to yourself, because this is the test that the universe puts in here. They're testing to see if these seeds of doubt from people who don't understand are going to change your mind. They're going to test you with these seeds of doubt to make you veer off your path, go back to an old mediocre kind of relationship or life, or stay on this path of truth. So this is that test that comes in. Also, what I found with my own journey especially is that you, like with any kind of, not just in a love connection, but when it comes to anything on your spiritual path, you will be faced with the same person, scenario, situation over and over again in different forms until you actually learn the lesson. So for example, I'll explain my journey. I had an HA narcissistic relationship in my 20s. I went very quickly into a year and a half very toxic relationship after that, and I decided to give it a break. I was like, I'm going to take it handy now. I need to heal. And this was around between 2018 and mid 2019. And I said to myself, I'm going to do some healing now, and I'm just going to, I'm not going to date for a while. And I did that, and I actually discovered, that was when I discovered what twin flames were. And I could see a couple of relationships in my circle were actually loving. And I grew up seeing a very toxic model of love. So to actually start to see true love, in front of me, I was like, maybe I could wait for this. Maybe I can actually get true love. Maybe relationships aren't all toxic. So I said to myself, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I'm healed and ready. I'm going to wait for that kind of love. So a year and a half later, I decided I'd start dating again. And there was red flags after red flags, and then it turned into sirens. Within 2 months, I realized this guy was a narcissist again. And after that, I said, fuck this shit. There's something wrong here. I need to start fucking healing my shit. I'm not doing this anymore. And I started to fucking really look into why I was attracted to narcissists. And I said, I'm not even going to try dating anymore. I know I'm a twin flame. Like literally a month after I just, decided to break off that last narcissistic relationship, a month after, the universe gave me divine proof that I was a twin flame. And I said to myself after that, I'm doing the healing required. I'm going to wait for my twin flame. And that's it. Like, that was the test. And I'll explain a little bit about that. That guy was a narcissist. I only knew him for 2 months, right? But we had a lot in common on the surface level. And this is the kind of test that the universe would bring into you, right? Your twin flame is going to be your exact divine match on a core, spiritual, deep level. Your morals, who you're becoming, the real version of yourself. This is what your twin flame matches, right? But your old relationships, you would have had a lot in common on the surface level. And that was the thing with this guy, the last guy I dated back in 2019. He had so much in common with me. And I remember saying to my friend, before I even knew about universe tests, I was like, Jesus, this feels like a setup. There's too much in common here. And, he was from the same town as my ex, and I was genuinely feeling that my ex was setting me up or something. And my friend said to me, well, actually, the universe puts tests in front of you to see if you're ready. And that was just like a wow moment for me. And I was like, I get it now. And I've seen this along the journey since. The universe brings in tests along the way. Like, the universe is going to present you with, like, say, for example, you're on the verge of union with your twin flame. You're doing that growth. You're nearly at the precipice. You're nearly at that top of that mountain. And somebody else comes into your life. Somebody else decides to start texting you. Somebody that looks good on paper. Someone you could bring home to your mother. Someone who your friends would probably think that would suit you. And you might actually fall for that test if you're not ready for the divine love, and you're just going to fall back and repeat the same cycle. You might say, this person looks easier. Maybe I won't bother with the twin flame journey and I'll go back to mediocre. And then you'll start to see the flaws. This will be a karmic connection again. And you'll start to go, the reason this person looks fucking familiar, or this person seems like they have a lot in common with me, is because they're like my fucking ex. And then you'll see all the karmic patterns, and you'll see all those lessons resurface again for you to heal them and grow. So this is why it's so, so important to be aware on your twin flame journey. This is the thing. Like, I have men texting me all the time, and I ignore that shit because I am not available to mediocre love. I am available only to divine love. And unless somebody comes at me, or my twin flame comes at me with divine masculine energy, I am happy to be single. So therefore, I'm not going to fall for those tests anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because, and I've seen this actually. This happened last year as well. An old friend from school started texting me. And I got so confused because I used to have feelings for this guy when I was in school. And I was literally just thinking about him the day before. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like, is there something here? And he started to spout all this stuff about spirituality and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's another narc. He's just, copying my personality. And there you go. That was another test. It took me a split second to understand it. But you see, and that's the beauty of, as we evolve and grow, every test gets easier. So the stronger we are, we're able to kind of say, no, I'm not falling for this. I know this is a test. I'm going to stay on my path. So this is what the universe does. It'll bring in different little scenarios like obstacles, challenges, life dynamics, stuff like that, just to deter you off your path. And this is where the faith comes in. And that's the thing. It's very hard to keep the faith on this 5D journey because a lot of it is happening on the spiritual realm. And if you actually wanted, especially at the start of your twin flame journey, if you actually dissected the relationship in a 3D way, you might think this isn't going well. But when you feel it on a 5D level, when you feel it in your soul, you know the truth. You know that this growth and this path is not for nothing. You know that you're going through these triggers, these obstacles, these challenges to help you become a better person, but also to test your faith on this journey, to test in your divine love. Are you ready for divine love, or do you need to repeat another cycle? And there's no wrong steps in this journey. So if you fail a test, as they say, it's not really failing the test. It just means that you need to go around again to kind of go, right, fuck, shit, this is a cycle, I need to not repeat it. And that's the thing with people. You can tell somebody over and over again that they're on the wrong path. They're not going to listen to you until they learn from themselves, until they grow from themselves. So this is the test of faith. These obstacles and challenges, these doubts from 3D people coming in, telling you you're on the wrong path, telling you to fall back into the 3D world. these tests from other temptations, from other, people texting you. Are you going to keep the faith and stay on your twin flame path even though it's fucking hard? Or are you going to fall back into the 3D ways, into that 3D mediocre way, or, go for those karmic relationships? Because when we choose to, I suppose, not follow the true path, you're going to be hit with more challenges. If you fall back into that 3D karmic path, you're going to have a shit ton more lessons to learn. And that's your path, and that's okay. This will make you stronger for the next time it comes round. But this is why self-awareness is so important when it comes to your twin flame journey. Be aware of, is this a test or is this for me? Ask yourself that. Is the universe presenting me with something good, or is the universe trying to test me to see if I'm ready for divine love, to see if I'm ready for the next level? This is what it is. And that's why I love self-awareness, and it's just beautiful when it comes to your emotions, your feelings, or for anything that's presented in your life. Literally you get to go, what is this telling me? And that's with everything. Every single thing that happens to you, what is this trying to tell me? What do I need to learn? Is this a test or is this an expansion? And that's the difference. You'll know if it's for you, to expand you, to help you grow. You will know that. And if you can understand if it's a test. As you evolve and grow, you will understand if it's a test. This is a test of, as I said, your faith. Are you going to believe in something only you can feel and your twin flame can feel? Or are you going to follow the path of the 3D advice? Are you going to go back down that road that looks easy? Are you going to go back down to that path that everyone else is on? Or are you going to trust in your intuition, trust in your heart, trust in your soul, trust in your twin flame, and continue on this journey, continue on this roller coaster? Are you going to continue evolving and growing, or are you going to repeat another karmic cycle? This is the question. So, are you ready to believe in the unknown, to believe in the magic, to believe in divine love, to believe in that 5D connection, to believe in what you don't see, but in what you feel? Or are you going to go back down to that 3D matrix path, that low vibrational energy? It's up to you. You know what I mean? Are you ready for magic? Because when we overcome these tests, this brings us closer to union. Divine spiritual union with our divine counterpart. And the tests get easier as you evolve, but be aware they'll always be there. And they will come right before your manifestation. So be aware of this as well. They will come right before you get your reward. That's if you continue to choose the divine path and do not fall for this 3D test. So don't listen to that advice from people who don't understand your connection. If you want advice on this connection, seek out a twin flame community online. There's so much information online for you to, I suppose, alleviate the fact that you might be going crazy. I personally thought I was going crazy for a long time until I got spiritual advice online. So, if you are questioning your sanity, questioning the advice of the 3D people around you, questioning your own beliefs, look for that community online, because a lot of the time the people around you are not going to be able to give you that advice. And be aware of tests in the form of temptations along your path. This is to test your strength and to test to see if you've overcome and learned those lessons, and to see if you're ready for this divine love. Are you ready? Because it's right here at the other side of those tests. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today. I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.